What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to this video. We are just days away from kickoff in the Euro 2024 taking place in Germany later this week. And for this one, I thought maybe we'd have a quick look at one of the teams that I expect to be very exciting for this tournament, the Netherlands. Now, looking at the Netherlands team selection, we can already see they're very strong at centre back. The list starts off with Matthias de Ligt from Bayern Munich. Now, with de Ligt, you get a very solid defender. You get a player who knows how to play with the ball at his feet and how to build attacks up from the heart of defense. I think my only gripe with Matthias de Ligt is maybe now and again he struggles with injuries and with consistency. But overall, this is a very solid centre back. Speaking of solid centre backs, I think he will be partnered at the back with Virgil van Dijk from Liverpool. Now, Premier League fans already know what Van Dijk contributes to Liverpool, and he contributes even more to the Netherlands. With Van Dijk, you get a solid centre back, but you also get a fantastic leader. Aerially, he's one of the best in the world right now, both defending and attacking. So in Van Dijk, the Netherlands also have a player who poses a threat from corners and free kicks. I think with Van Dijk you also get the kind of player who is able to rally the team, a proper captain who's able to motivate and inspire all of his teammates from the heart of his defense. In the right back position, I think we will see Denzel Dumfries from Inter Milan. Now, what I really enjoy watching with Dumfries is how he is able to identify space to attack from the right back position. He's also a very quick player, so you will see him going up to support the attack, giving them an additional option to pass into when they're moving forward. But if the Netherlands do end up losing the ball, they can count on Denzel Dumfries to be able to track back and perform defensive duties as well. His passing, especially from range, is very accurate, and it does sort of give the Netherlands an additional threat from out wide. At left back, I think we will see Manchester City's Nathan Ake. Now, what I enjoy watching with Ake is his flexibility. This is a player who can play at left back, but who's also able to play at centre back or at holding midfield roles. So I think with Ake, they have a kind of Swiss Army knife at the back, a player who can slot in for others or cover others who are caught out of position. At midfield, we will see Frenkie de Jong from Barcelona. Now, Frenkie de Jong is the typical Dutch playmaker kind of player who can play deeper in that number 6 central midfield role and just dictate play and orchestrate attacks from deeper within the pitch. I think with Frenkie de Jong as well, the only issue might be staying clear of injuries. It is something that has really plagued him at his time with Barcelona, and it's something that all Dutch fans will be hoping he can stay clear of. Alongside him, we'll probably see Koopmeiners from Atalanta. Now, Koopmeiners is going to kind of function as a number 10 for the Netherlands, playing higher up in that central midfield role, but just behind the strikers, able to feed the ball to players, but also able to take shots from range when it's necessary. He's a threat with the ball and without it. He will provide an additional body up front and an additional option for players like De Jong to pass the ball to get the ball moving to the front line. I think I also have to talk a little bit about Reinders from AC Milan. Now, while we will see the other two players, perhaps with De Jong playing deeper and Koopmeiners playing higher up, we will see Reinders taking perhaps that number 7 role or that kind of Iniesta role, the player who, instead of just being able to pass the ball, we'll also see him running with the ball at his feet. He's also fairly flexible, so he can play out wide in the Netherlands midfield if it's necessary. But I think midfield-wise, the Netherlands are quite strong. Up front, we will see the talents of one Memphis Depay from Atletico Madrid. This is a player who is strong, but also very quick. He's lethal, both playing with the ball at his feet, but also in terms of finding space when he doesn't have the ball, giving his teammates an option to either play the ball over a defense and know that he has the pace to run into it, or perhaps creating space for another one of his teammates to move into. I think we will also see Cody Gakpo from Liverpool play a very, very important role for the Netherlands. He too is a very flexible player out wide, able to play on either wing or able to play as a number 9. This is a player who can just completely obliterate defenses with his pace, but he's also a threat aerially. Speaking of aerial threats up front, I think the player we will see in that typical number 9 role for the Netherlands is probably going to be Hoffenheim's Wout Weghorst. Now, Weghorst was very good for the Netherlands in the previous World Cup. Perhaps not the most mobile player and not the quickest player, but he's the kind of player who knows how to hold the ball up, how to pass the ball, but also how to get goals. This is a player you can rely on to either start the match or to come off the bench and get goals for his side. Aerially, he's very strong, but he's also very good with the ball at his feet, able to help the team with build up and with just holding the ball while everybody else gets into better attacking positions. In terms of the tactics that the Netherlands will employ, I think the Oranje are going to go with a 4-3-3. This is something that is typical of coach Ronald Koeman. Koeman obviously having had experience coaching the team before, but also playing for the Netherlands and playing for Barcelona. So you can see that it's really in his genetic code that the main idea here is to keep the ball, pass it around, move it around, and get the entire team moving as a unit. What is also typical of the Netherlands is we'll see them playing this kind of total football system where anybody can perform any role depending on where they are on the pitch. So nobody's really fixed as a centre back or as a striker or as a midfielder. We might see a player like a Nathan Ake playing more centrally in a holding midfield position. We might see Reinders perhaps playing out wide on a wing, even though he's usually a central midfielder. We might see Barcelona's Frankie de Jong shifting from that holding number 6 defensive midfield playmaker role perhaps to a number 10 playmaker role instead, playing more closely with his front line. I think everybody here is very, very flexible. Everybody's able to perform multiple duties, able to cover for one another. We will see the Netherlands moving the ball slickly from one side of the pitch to the other, either back to front or left to right and vice versa. This is a team that is very, very good with possession. They will be looking to monopolize the ball as much as they can. But in players like Memphis Depay and Cody Gakpo, they have enough pace out wide to be able to play on the counter attack as well. On the bench, they also have some very good options, some very young players who are very exciting, who can bring something new to the team if it seems like they're becoming a little too predictable. I think we will also see them playing very fluid, moving the ball quickly, precisely, accurately. We might also see Nathan Ake and Dumfries contributing more to the attack in terms of providing additional bodies out wide. This then allows central players like De Jong or Koopmeiners to perhaps pass the ball out wide to their wingbacks and then allowing these wingers up front in Cody Gakpo or Memphis Depay to then slot centrally and become like an additional number 9 in the box. This will create a lot more space for all of these players, but it will also create a fair bit of confusion amongst the opposition defenders, with players perhaps confused as to who they're supposed to pick up or whether they're supposed to go man marking or perhaps zonal marking. And the Netherlands will look to capitalize on that confusion very, very quickly. I think it should be obvious to everybody that I did neglect to say anything about the Netherlands goalkeeper selection. And this is because I'm not particularly familiar with any of these players. I would have expected to see one Jasper Cillessen playing more of a role in terms of goalkeeping for the Netherlands. But it seems that coach Ronald Koeman has opted to favor a younger approach to goalkeepers, perhaps thinking that they'll need to be quicker and more agile as opposed to more experienced when dealing with opposition attacks. I think, however, that does leave the Oranje a little bit weaker centrally. In terms of their backline, they are fantastic. In terms of their midfield, I see a lot of depth here as well. I see many players being able to cover many different duties. So we might see players who are usually employed as forwards playing in midfield, or we might see midfielders being pushed higher up to give a more possession style or more slower approach to the game as opposed to picking up the pace. I think they do have a lot of flexibility both in their approach to the game and how all of these players play. I think when it comes to the Netherlands as well, each and every one of these players has it ingrained in them from grassroots level on how to play the Dutch football way. So even though we will see players playing in Italy or in the Netherlands or in England or Spain, everybody understands that when they play for the national team, there is a certain way to play, and everybody's very good at understanding and adapting to that style of play. So chemistry-wise, I think they're very, very good. In terms of their defense, if I have to rate them, I think I will give the Netherlands a 4 out of 5. I think in terms of their backline, they're very, very good. Maybe a little bit slow centrally, but I think in terms of cutting the ball out, in terms of reading the game and understanding where the ball could move before it even gets to them, I think these players are very, very good. I did take 1 point off though for what I think is a lack of experience in the goalkeeping department. Midfield-wise, I think they're very flexible, but I think they do lack a little bit of pace and a little bit of depth. I think we might see players like Xavi Simons having to come off the bench to cover for Koop Meiners, Reinders, or even De Jong. But I think here they're very, very well-rounded. I think the lack of pace, however, does hurt them. The midfield will be expected to just move the ball around and not run with it at their feet too much. So I think in terms of a rating here, Netherlands get a 3 out of 5 for me from midfield. I think it is very good with the ball, but I think without the ball, they're a little bit lacking. These are not players you will see hunting the ball down or pressuring the opposition. These are players who are best with the ball and not really that good without it. Injuries are also a major concern for all of these players in that midfield. Up front, I think they have a fair bit of pace, aerial ability, physicality, but I think here too, they come up just a little bit short because of injuries. I think with players like Cody Gakpo and Memphis Depay, when they get hurt, they're hurt for quite a bit of time, and that could really hurt the Netherlands as a unit going forward. I think they do get a 4 out of 5 here as well because they are very solid. They're very good. Everybody brings something new to the team. There's a lot of ideas here that could help the team to get further and further into this competition. In terms of their group, the Netherlands find themselves in a very challenging group. They are in Group D alongside France, who are favorites, and Poland, who are a very strong team on their own as well. I do, however, expect the Oranje to finish second here and to at least progress through the group stage to the knockout rounds. I think in terms of the round of 16, I think they get through here as well. But I think that's where it starts to become difficult for them. I don't see the Netherlands progressing past the quarterfinals. I think that's where the dream ends, not because of a lack of quality, but I think because in particular that goalkeeping issue, that lack of experience at the back, I think could come back to bite them a little bit. I think in terms of fluidity and flexibility and adaptability, the Netherlands are one of the best teams in this tournament, able to switch their game plan to suit whatever it is they want to do. But I think in terms of individual quality, having a player who can grab the game and just take it to the opposition, I think they don't have that. And I think that just makes things a little bit more difficult for them. Hi, thank you for making it to the end of this video. We really appreciate the watch time and the fact that you took some time out of your day to spend it with us talking about the sport that we all love. If you enjoyed the content, why not, drop a like down below or comment in the comment section. Maybe even consider subscribing to the channel. And I mean, while you are here right now, have a look at some of our old videos too. They should be appearing on the screen right now, along with that subscribe button. So you know exactly what to do. Thank you so much. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And have a great day out there. And we hope to see you again very, very soon. Thanks. Stay safe.